Now that we've got negativity out of the way, it's time to talk about people who have a positive influence on your life. Most of us have many people in our lives who can affect us in this way, although they're not as loud as negative influences and don't call as much attention to themselves. Like negative ones, positive influences can be from any area of our lives. They can be our bosses and coworkers, family, friends, or acquaintances. What are some characteristics of these people? Again, we're talking about attitudes since deeds speak for themselves. Positive influences display optimism, self-discipline, a good self-image, confidence, hope, support, honesty, cheerfulness, generosity, love, and most importantly, a belief that life is an adventure and that we are in full control of our destinies. Also, like negative people, people who are positive influences tend to stick together and reinforce each other's behavior. But the difference is that while negative influences try to keep each other at the same level, even to the extent of pulling each other down if one gets too high, the positive ones spend a lot of time and effort helping each other to become all they can be. They delight in each other's triumphs and they don't begrudge each other any success. They know that there is enough success to go around, and with hard work and cooperation, anyone can achieve it. Obviously, life among positive influences sounds a lot more desirable than the life among the negative people we talked about earlier. In most of our lives, however, things are not so clear-cut. There's a mix of influences, positive, negative, and in between. With this in mind, I'm going to give you some steps for increasing the positive influence in your life and even creating a network of positive support that can help you advance down the road of your destiny. We've already talked about the first step, which is to determine where the negative and positive influences in your life are coming from. The second step is to cancel the negative influences in your life, either by stopping your association with them or by rendering them powerless over you. If there's someone who has both a positive and negative effect on you, which, given the complex personalities of people, won't be too unusual, then you'll have to determine which side of the fence this person ultimately falls on. Do the positive influences outweigh the negative, or vice versa? Don't consider someone positive solely because that person is in a position to help you out. A negative person who's offering you a high-paying job is still a negative influence. Once you've singled out your positive influences, the third step is to examine your present relationships with these people and determine ways to foster and grow these relationships. There are many ways to do this depending on who they are. If they're coworkers, you can begin eating lunch and taking breaks together or volunteer to work on the same projects. Acquaintances can become friends, and friends can become closer friends through increased interaction and planned activities. Whichever way you decide to do it, open more lines of communication. Start becoming aware of their needs and wants, and see if you can do something to help them along toward achieving them. Whatever you do, don't become a negative influence on a positive life. Instead, control your life to the extent that you become a positive influence yourself. Emulate the positive traits in these people. Don't be a burden, but give of yourself freely. They'll appreciate you for it and return the favor in kind. And that is yet another difference between a positive and negative influence. Where a negative influence will take and take whatever you have to give without really appreciating it, a positive person will recognize your offerings for what they are. And I'm not talking about buying things for them. You can't buy a positive influence. What you offer should come from inside yourself. Time, patience, understanding, advice in business or other issues. You can offer to put these people in touch with your helpful contacts. Let them know of job openings and investment opportunities. Send them warm wishes on their birthday, or just drop a positive word here and there to brighten their day. Let them know that they're worth something to you, that the world is a brighter place for having them in it. None of this takes money or even a great investment of time. What it is an investment of kindness and positive energy. And this is an investment that will be returned to you many, many times over when dealing with positive influences. The fourth step is to begin making new positive contacts. The first thing to remember when cultivating new positive influences in your life is to close yourself off to new negative influences. Choose your new friends carefully. I'm not talking about choosing people for what they can do for you, but rather just choosing them for the kinds of persons they are. You're planning your ultimate destiny, so why surround yourself with more people who will try, consciously or unconsciously, to hold you back? Certainly, we've discussed how to dispel and counteract the negative influences from people who are already in your life, but why take on an additional burden? More negative influences will only equal more energy spent protecting yourself from them, so it's best only to create new relationships with positive influences.